Hi, I'm Purple Streak, and I'm back with another slightly more obscure and niche video. Kinda like my abandoned amusement parks video if you're one of the 3 people that watched that one. But today I'll be talking about Bigfoot games. Do I believe in Bigfoot? Not unless the definition of Bigfoot is man in ape suit, I don't. But that's okay, as I've always loved the lore behind the creature. I love the fact that there's people that went through the effort to fake Bigfoot sightings and footprints. And if anyone wants to go to the Bigfoot themed restaurant in New York with me, I'll see you there, because that sounds amazing. Any non-existent creature that somehow spawns 100 documentaries about it is incredible to me. So, let's get into it. Let's hunt us a Bigfoot. So the game that inspired this video, as you can probably imagine, is a game called BigFoot. I received the game free from the developers, so I'll disclose that now, but that won't affect this review. A good review shan't be bought on this channel with the promise of a free game. I'm no sellout. If you gave me 2 free games, however, BigFoot was released to Early Access in 2017 and is still currently in Early Access, so I'll bear that in mind when reviewing this game. But honestly, I really like this game so far. You gather up your rifle, some materials and the 6 slabs of meat that everyone has in their fridge, and head out into the world to track down the infamous Bigfoot that's been killing tourists in the area. I appreciate that this game gets right into it. There's a skippable introduction showing news articles about the missing tourists in the area, and that's about it. You then get an assortment of equipment to use, such as flares to help illuminate the area and scare off Bigfoot, night vision camera, traps to damage and stun him and catch wild animals, and possibly my favourite, incredibly fun but somewhat useless item, the drone. It's great for quickly surveying the area and annoying your friends, but using it makes you so vulnerable to Bigfoot himself and the various dangerous animals about the place like wolves and bears. Unfortunately, it's similar to earlier builds of Minecraft where nothing's really explained to you, and you're more or less left to your own devices to figure out what you need to do. And it's not entirely obvious what's collectible and what isn't. For example, it's obvious you can pick up these flares, but the can isn't an item I can pick up. It made sense to me that you may need to drink after spending literal days in this forest without a break, but I guess my character just isn't a just drink kind of guy. Also, I had to watch someone's let's play of this game to realise that these plants were the branches I needed. I'd spent ages clicking on everything trying to find what this game considered branches, as I needed them to camouflage the traps. That being said, once you know what you can and can't interact with, I think no outlines on the items does make it more immersive, and the atmosphere this game creates is great. The wilderness looks fantastic and the heights and the lighting create some breathtaking views, even if the sun creates lens flares on your eyes for some reason. And when night falls, you'll be on the edge knowing that any moment either a Bigfoot or a bear could lunge out of the shadows at you. There's a handful of ways to take down Bigfoot. You can just set up traps and hide whilst he walks into them. You can shoot him with a tracking bullet and follow him across the map with your rifle. You can set up cameras all across the forest, as they'll notify you if anything moves past them. Like here, if you look really closely, you can just about make out Bigfoot over there on the... All this lends to you creating your own hunting style to take down and capture this beast. This game is definitely best played with friends, but since I have no friends, I got a couple YouTubers and streamers involved by telling them I was in FaZe Clan. Introducing TreyGamer58.
Oh, dead body always means fun time, so let's go.
British Biscuits.
Rip drone.
Right, I'm an engineer, I'll fix this.
And Lucky Rubber Ducky.
Swiggity swooty, he took my virginity.
I feel this game becomes a much more enjoyable survival game when you're dividing resources and can split into groups to explore different areas and cover more ground. Although the fear factor is definitely lost a bit when everyone's making jokes. It also makes the drone much more usable as one person can commandeer the drone whilst another defends them and keeps an eye out. Players can also revive a down player using a health kit, so your game isn't necessarily over if you get killed. That, or they can desecrate your corpse. Guess which one they went with.
Help me.
Yeah, I don't have
Help me,
anything.
please. I'm drowning. At least get my head out of the water.
I can't do
I don't know if we
anything.
can drag bodies or not.
I'm still
I
alive.
went out from a homie.
Yeah, he's still alive. Why are you disrespecting us like this? We're dying, not dead.
You can tell this game is still in early access though, as I encountered a handful of glitches throughout my playthrough, including this bear that couldn't work out what to do so just got stuck in its default pose. I mean granted, I've never gone hunting before, but this doesn't look right to me. Also here's British Biscuits opening and closing a case that he's standing on.
I don't know about you guys, I'm having fun.
And whilst it didn't happen every time, looking through the cameras at a bear that had already been killed would respawn it only for it to die again in the camera view. The optimization also needs a fair bit of work, so I wouldn't buy this game if you have an underpowered rig. And whilst there's definitely fun to have here, there's not too much content. Once you've captured the elusive Bigfoot at Ross Lake, you've then got the Glacier map, which amps up the difficulty by having you search for your supplies instead of giving you the majority of what you need at the beginning. It's a brand new area to explore, and hey, for all you white supremacists out there, Bigfoot's white this time! But past that, there's not much else to do. Still, if you're looking for an authentic Bigfoot hunting experience, then this is the game to get. To be honest, I could make the entire video on this game, but there's a couple other Bigfoot games to cover, so let's get into them. Created by Hyperlink Your Heart for a London Dare game jam, this game called Squatchin sees you take on the role of the legendary Bigfoot himself and kill every Sasquatch hunter that has invaded your territory. It's fun for what it is. Attack with the left mouse button, roar to attract the hunters with the right mouse button, if you can call this a roar. Could maybe attract the beat scale with that lo-fi note, but I don't think anyone looking for the foot is going to hear this beep and think he's nearby. You get 4 health points and every shot takes 1 away, so you get decked pretty quick unless you sneak up behind them. Best technique is to get them to investigate where you are with a roar, then sneak up behind them. I love how they just roll away dead. That's how I want to leave this mortal coil. Quick slap to the back of the head and I'm out like a log. That's about it really. Level 3 introduces a strong hunter with a higher rate of fire, and I couldn't beat that level so I gave up. That's right, I got 3 levels in. I'm very dedicated to this channel. The next game, created for the same game jam, is Bigfootage, with a really unique concept. Basically, you know how all footage of Bigfoot is obscured and blurry as hell? Well, in this game, your goal is to get all the Bigfoot hunters to record really obscured, terrible footage of you until their camera is full and they leave. You accomplish this by putting as many bushes, trees and distance between you and them as possible. You even walk around as a blurry Bigfoot. Brilliant. You then later have to avoid drones which seem to just fly and bump off everything around them. It's a fun concept and definitely doesn't outstay its welcome by being completable within about 10 minutes. But the puns physically hurt. The last game, Bigfoot Hunt Simulator, is pretty much a clone of the first game we talked about. You get most of the same equipment and mechanics, except you get the painful mobile controls that had me spasming all over the place whenever my thumb slipped off the tiny touch control stick. If you don't have the game on PC, this isn't a bad alternative as a lot of the mechanics are here, including placing traps and cameras, but the Bigfoot is a lot less scary and a lot more stupid. Here's me setting up a trap, checking to see if the camera works, to then find that Bigfoot had literally walked into the trap I just set up right in front of me. In the official game, the Bigfoot will run right past the trap to attack you if it sees you. Also, like most mobile games, this game is destroyed by ads. They don't even place them strategically like most games, such as between levels. It legit just pops up every few minutes or so. 1 minute I'm placing a trap, the next I'm pregnant. The flip happened! So yeah, I'll try this one if you don't want to pay for the version it's ripping off, and I definitely wouldn't pay to remove ads, it's not worth it. So there we have it, proof Bigfoot exists after all these years. Thanks to TreyGamer58, British Biscuits and Lucky Rubber Ducky for hopping into a co-op game with me for the footage, and special thanks to my patron Zill and channel member Sanchi01. The support is definitely appreciated. Thanks for watching and remember, keep watching the skies.